Hey YouTube. So we posted several videos now where we're making curries, and some of you are probably wondering, hey man, what are you usually serving these with? Sometimes we give a hint in the thumbnail or in the video like we do here, but one of my favorite things to serve with a curry or pretty much any main dish is chapati. It's an Indian flatbread. And in its simplest form, it's got 2 ingredients. You can add salt to it, bringing it up to 3, and of course I like to add a little bit of ghee to it, so it's 4. But still, very few ingredients. The prep time is about 10 minutes, and you could cook it right away, although it's best to let it sit for about a half an hour. You can prepare this whole thing in under 40 minutes. Like I said, very simple, healthy, and it's really quite delicious. So let's jump in and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, we're gonna start with 1 cup of atta flour. Now atta flour is just a whole wheat flour. It's a lot finer than what you would find here in the US. So, you can pick this up at an Indian store, and if you don't have access to that, you can always find it online. But it's a lot easier to work with than the typical US whole wheat flour. So to that, we're gonna add a generous pinch of salt, and then 3/4 of a cup of boiling water. And the boiling water is important because that's going to help make a softer bread. So you can mix this with a fork or a spoon. And you just want to kind of bring everything together here. Once this is cooled adequately, and you can handle it without burning yourself, set the fork aside. You want to begin to knead the dough. And we're going to knead this for about 5 minutes, so, just put on your favorite tunes and have fun with it. Your dough should be nice and soft, but if you find that it's too sticky, you can always add just a little bit more flour, just a light dusting. You want just enough so that it's not sticking to the surface. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. So right now this is ready to cook. If you want, you can just break these into little balls. You can roll them out and start cooking. I think the best result though is to let it sit for about 45 minutes. Let the dough relax a little bit. It results in what I think is a softer chapati. So we're going to cover this with a damp cloth and we'll come back and continue. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes. Let's check on our dough now. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take it and we're going to break it into balls that are about 1.5 inches in diameter. Now comes the hardest part. So first you want to put down some flour so that these don't stick. And lightly flour your rolling pin as well. And we'll roll it out. And for each roll, turn it about 45 degrees. And roll again. trying to get a nice round shape. And they don't have to be perfectly round. Like I said, this is the hardest part. For me, anyway. You just want to apply gentle pressure. And if you get more, if it keeps sticking, then add a little bit more flour. Okay, so now we've got our chapati rolled out. We've got our tawa over medium heat. If you don't have a tawa, any kind of a flat bottom pan will work. Cast iron is probably the best, but you know, stainless steel would work too. You just want something that's going to hold heat pretty well. So we'll take it and we'll just pop it on there. On standby, you want to have a plate. If you've got a chapati warmer, have at it. We're going to pull these off and set them on our plate as they finish. But what we want is we want to see that it starts to bubble. And once you see some of that bubbling, very carefully, you're going to turn it. And the same thing on the second side. You want it to bubble up a little bit. And it should start to puff. You can press it down to make sure you get nice, even cooking. You know, make sure it cooks inside as well. Okay. And then we'll turn our heat to low, set it directly over the flame. And you should get a nice pillowy chapati. And we'll pop this off the flame. And you want to lightly brush it with ghee. Sprinkle it with just a bit of salt. If you don't have a gas stove, you don't need to cook it over an open flame. You can just leave it in your pan and let it cook a little bit longer, maybe another 30 seconds to 1 minute more. You just want to make sure that it's cooked thoroughly. And even if your chapati doesn't puff up, it's not a big deal. It's still going to taste really wonderful. Okay, this is our last one. So there you have it. It doesn't get much easier than this. 2 ingredients. 4 if you really want to get fancy with it. And you have a nice warm bread to go with any main dish that you're serving. I highly recommend it. Give it a try. Let us know what you think. Hope you enjoyed watching. You know, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. We'd like to bring you more great recipes in the future. And I hope to see you again next time. Thank you.